The Ministry of Peacebuilding and FAO on Wednesday released a new report indicating that the presence of firearms in the hands of civilians is one of the factors leading to South Sudan's food insecurity. The report, titled "The Impact of Conflict on Food Security and Livelihood," covered 6 of the 10 South Sudan states and 1 administrative area. It covered national-level conflict dynamics, Central Equatoria, Jonglei, Unity State, Upper Nile, Warrap, Western Bahr el Ghazal, and Pibor Administrative Area.
From the report, it is clear that one of the main consequences and why South Sudan is food insecure is not because there are not the resources that are needed, particularly in agriculture to do with land and water and the space, but it's about conflicts, it's about the lack of peace that brings this. That's why the partnership with the Ministry of Peacebuilding has been quite significant.
Some of the key findings include political dynamics, where respondents reported a significant level of tension among different political groups, driven by mistrust and perception of exclusion from the governance process. Another finding is the intercommunal conflict attributed to historical rivalries driven by ethnic disputes. Others include the spread of small arms, resulting in an increase in the flow and illicit use of small arms by civilians' population, and forced displacement caused by access to natural resources. The report also quoted some respondents saying they were not sure about the country's readiness for the December 2024 general election, citing divisions across ethnic lines.
At the national level, various governance issues are quite important to ensure that food security is able to be obtained. We have given one example, for instance, on the issue of one of the drivers, which is cattle raiding. In this country, there are over 15 million cattle, but still we continue to import milk. We are 12 million. If each cow could only produce 1 million, there is no reason why each South Sudanese should not have 1 liter of milk. But now we are importing milk from Uganda, even from the Arab states, which is the powdered milk. So those are areas in which once peace is there, the dividends of peace will be food security.
In Jonglei and Pibor Administrative Area, the report recommends the need to engage youth, elders, chiefs, and political leaders in peace dialogue and establish peace agreements that will enhance behavioral change. For Western Bahr el Ghazal State, it recommends strengthening the capacities of peace and security structures at local levels by providing knowledge, skills, and materials required to ensure they effectively undertake their work. In Warrap, the report recommends bringing peace-related interventions to cattle camps so that the young people receive information about conflict prevention and management and are supported to engage in dialogue processes. And for Upper Nile, the report recommends the implementation of the adopted land policy to resolve conflict between different communities in the state. Pierre Philippe, the Undersecretary of the National Ministry of Peacebuilding, agrees with some of the findings. He is encouraging South Sudanese at all levels to work for peace to enable the country have food secure.
It is very clear that the driver of food insecurity in the Republic of South Sudan is our intercommunal violence. The more we continue to fight among ourselves, to cattle raid, to fight each other over whatever resources, we will remain food insecure. And this is not something that we want to do. So the report has thrown back to us that if we are hungry today, it is because of our activities of fight among ourselves and conflict that we have, intercommunal fighting.
Pierre went on to say the government is working with partners to support young people in adding value to resources such as the cattle the country has.
The blame game that we always have, that the young people are the one fighting, will not stop until when we build sustainable livelihood skills among the young people, working from what they know, working from their own homegrown resources. For example, like I mentioned, the young people in the cattle camp do not benefit from their cattle. The 15 million cattle we have in this country, our young people are not benefiting from them because they are not able to sell the product of the cattle to the market and get the money. What do they need? They need that value chain engagement, where the milk can be accessed by the market, where they can add value to their milk, they can take the milk to the market, they can get the money, and then they can build their lives. And that alone will give them something to lose. Because now it is just a cow. There is no value of the cow. It's just keeping the cows there. So my thought is that when you engage in sustainable livelihood skills, value addition to the local products, access to the market, that is when the young people will have something to lose, and that will lead to voluntary disarmament.
Meanwhile, Santino Manut Akot, the senior inspector at Warrap, State Ministry of Peacebuilding, also admits that the report presents the real situations in his states.
These findings represent the actual fact on the ground, especially Warrap state is one of the states which is affected by the inter-communal conflicts, and those inter-communal conflicts are natural resources related conflicts, and the findings as reflected those natural resources related conflict, especially issues to do with the land conflicts, when the cattle raidings and the movement of the cattle within the states and between the states and the neighboring states.
Santino Manut went on to say that they are now working with agencies to empower the communities to embrace peace.
Yes, of course, at the state level we have so many initiatives. The State Ministry of Peacebuilding together with the partners are working hand in hand to address the inter-communal conflicts at the states, where we have the consortium at the state, which is Concord, which is made up of so many organizations, and that consortium is working to mitigate the conflict at the state level by organizing the peace conferences, conduct community peace dialogues, among other things.
To her part, Dorothy Drubaga, chairperson of South Sudan Land Alliance, emphasized the importance of grassroots peace-building initiatives to enable communities to engage in farming.
You know, peace is paramount. In all that we do, if there is peace, I think everything will be okay. But where there is no peace, definitely people will not practice agriculture. People will not do anything tangible because there is no peace. People are fighting. People are moving from one place to another. But if there is peace, everybody will settle in their state. They do agriculture, they cultivate, and South Sudan will be free of hunger. But now, looking at this context, where there is no peace, people are moving from one place to another, looking for peaceful places where they can settle. And not only that, also, when we look at issues of land, these issues of land grabbing is also coming as a result of insecurity in the country, because now people have left their various states where they are supposed to be. They are moving to other states, and whereby they end up conflicting over land.